So
I want 2.5% now of your 2.5%.
Yeah.
We're all getting percentage if you get this
I
stuff.
don't think he's going to get it.
He's going to get it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli, and today I have a very special guest. Some of you may know her already. She goes by the name of Virginia Munden. 27-year real estate purveyor. She created the 90-day challenge, which she facilitated to over 13 plus countries across the globe to give realtors a foundation to thrive in their business. She is a master networker and created live real estate events across Canada, most recently the Buzz virtual conferences. These have attracted over 15,500 attendees from across the globe, bringing on some big speakers such as Mauricio Umansky, Michael Posler, Charles Caboth, and Matthew Campoli.
And Matthew Campoli.
Have you heard of him?
I have.
He's okay.
So funny and clever. One of our faves.
Welcome to the show, Virginia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I think everyone will be excited to get some good feedback and tips from you today.
Thank you.
So give everyone a brief bio of who Virginia Munden is.
Well, like yourself, I started in the industry when I was quite young, almost 27 years ago. And it's just been a constant evolution.
You're still young, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a constant evolution since then. I do work behind the scenes with my husband, Wayne Munden, out of the Oakville community, as mentioned. And the Buzz Conference is something that is a constant evolution over the years. We've been hosting conferences throughout Canada and been attending conferences globally around the world. And I just love the passion to network and meet new people like yourself. We're doing amazing things within the real estate space.
Yeah, and I've just through you alone, through the Buzz, I've met so many great people in the business.
Yeah.
So what you've put together is just so helpful. I
Thank
don't even know how valuable it actually is for us.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
So I want to get into, so you started 27 years ago, and a majority of our audience are realtors.
Right.
And I want to get into real estate back then. So before the video, before the social media, and how easily accessible it is to reach people. You mentioned that
it wasn't as
using
easy.
the Rolodex.
Yeah, I was using Rolodex. That was a really big thing. And I remember before the week I started, I went to go invest in a Rolodex. Now, and I think the price of that was $9.95. And now, people are investing in $1,200 mobile devices or video cameras, et cetera, et cetera. But when I started, there was no MLS, there was no realtor.ca, there wasn't even a computer or a mobile device. There was a pager, and that was glued to your hip. You'd put it on, first thing in the morning, and you take it off when you get home. But we didn't have the technology or the social media platforms that this younger generation has today. And I really believe it's an opportunity to grow your business faster, gain more exposure, because I think the ROI is exposure. One of the questions you asked me related to, where do you see real estate in the future? And I think the power of your network through social media is your ROI for sure. Definitely.
I could not agree more, because that's where majority of my business comes from. Give us a little insight into 27 years ago, what you had to do, because we are blessed now.
Yeah,
so,
we are so blessed.
Yeah, I want to go into some of those older forms of prospecting.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question first.
Sure.
How long have you been in the business?
5 years.
And I have met you over the last couple of years just from being on social media.
Yeah.
So that didn't take me very long.
True.
Right? And I follow you, and I love your videos. I find them clever. They make me smile. And so 27 years ago, it was getting flyers printed and door knocking, working a street of, 300 to 500 townhouses or detached houses consistently. Every single week, you'd have to put yourself out there that way. It was investing in local newspapers or the real estate magazine, and the expense of that is about every Wednesday, $2,800 for a full page ad. So when you look at real estate back then, the expenses were far greater. And when you look at what this younger generation is doing now and having fun with it, I think that's how you're able to, gather so many potential new eyes and ears to your social media pages and say, hey, this guy sounds like he can do a really great job for me. For us, it was very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, when new listings used to come on the market, we'd have to literally run to the office and get the Bowers and their like tear sheets to see what new listings were going to hit the agencies or the brokerages, and that's how we had to deliver that information to our client. We used to take those pages and call the client and say, hey, there's a new listing on the street, let's go look at it. Whereas now you have access to MLS and realtor.ca and all these other platforms that are available online. Yeah, I mean, Google's your best friend right now.
Yeah.
And I find that the consumer has better access to inventory and realtor information than they did back in the past.
Definitely. They have so much information is accessible, even sold information now.
Yeah.
So even just for the general public.
Right. We didn't have that. We didn't have access to any of that.
Yeah, it's crazy now. Even like DocuSign.
Yeah.
Such a blessing from heaven, that thing.
Yeah.
So the older forms of prospecting, like the cold calling, the door knocking, so do you still believe in prospecting of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I think that prospecting is still your greatest prospecting tool, by use of phone, by use of the power of your network. Like your network is your most powerful, prospecting tool. If you're not putting yourself out there, then you're never going to get an inquiry or a lead or a potential opportunity from anyone. The more that people know that you're in the business, whether working with buyers or sellers or investors, I think that is the most important strategy that any new or seasoned agent should be taking. A lot of people are, they're starting to use, say, like Facebook marketing or Facebook ads or Google ads, Instagram ads. I still believe the power of people. And the more people you know and the more you put yourself out there in the most creative environment and in the most creative way, I think that's your golden ticket to being successful in real estate.
Yeah, I agree. I have a lot of people reach out to me saying, hey, Matt, I'm not getting any leads or no one's calling me. I said,
right.
I haven't seen you post one thing on your Instagram or any of your socials. How do people know you're in real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just generally speaking, whatever form or whatever way you want to put yourself out there, just get out there.
And I think it's also really important that you continue to network and engage with people on social media. It's okay to post things, but if you're not communicating, whether you're liking their comment or replying to their comment or, commenting or sharing something, back with them, you're just ignoring them.
Yes.
Right. So the more you are engaging with your followers, I think that is also a really great strategy. You're making them feel important, and that everybody wants to feel important these days.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's tedious to go through all your comments and reply, but it does impact that person. It's like a thank you in a way.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And then they'll continue to do so.
Pardon me?
They'll continue to do so. Like they'll continue to comment and engage, which is important, especially in these days.
Or they'll share your post, right?
Yes.
And I notice that a lot of people share your post because I'll see it through another person's Instagram page, right? It's like, okay, this person really likes Matt because they're sharing his clever post, right?
Yeah.
And that gets more eyes on you.
That's cool. I thought just my mom liked my stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess other people do too, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I love it.
So given 27 years of experience and you've seen different trends and different things take shape over the time, how important is it to stay with the trends as a realtor?
Well, trends is a really tricky word. Trends come and go, but people stay.
Yes.
So you can, if the trend is more Facebook ads, then you're going to go with more Facebook ads. If the trend is a Facebook business page or an Instagram business page, or now the big thing right now is a creator page, right?
Yeah.
Where you get access to music. I think there's a lot of that going on right now, or a podcast or TikTok. Like those are all trends. If you do it properly, you're just going to gain more exposure for yourself. But you can never forget the power of people, right? So if you see that so many people are liking and following those trends that you're using, it's always great for you to reach out to them via a telephone call or an email or a personal note. I still believe in those personal touches.
I agree.
And that's where this younger generation is failing, right? But they're still doing the most important things that should be done, and that's using the tool of social media and technology in their business.
I agree. I agree fully with that.
Do you like writing personal notes?
I actually do.
Yeah?
I used to, when I used to door knock and cold call, after every person I cold called, I would write them a handwritten letter. Thank you for your time.
Oh, nice.
Here's my card.
Yeah, so important.
Didn't last long.
It didn't last long?
Yeah, I probably did it for like
Okay.
6 months. But I had the time at the time.
Right.
I mean, like, delegating is important and scaling. So
right.
if you can get someone to do that stuff for you, I still think it is super important. Especially just the handwriting versus typing.
Right.
Because then the people see, wow, this person actually put that effort,
Right.
Any kind of way to stand out, I think is important.
I think that's important.
Or to make people feel important is the goal at the end of the day.
Oh, by the way, there were no websites back then, 27 years ago also. We were one of the first ones to invest in a website in our office, and we were one of the first couples at the time to have full-length photos of ourselves in suits, because it was mostly headshots back then. So, when you do things that are different also, what happens is you get a lot of eyes and ears on you that may not be positive. It's like, what are they doing, right? What's a QR code? Because we brought the QR code into Canada.
This is you and your husband?
Yeah, my husband and I.
I love that dynamic, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And it was interesting because we started using a lot of new technology even 10, 12 years ago, but it wasn't the right time. Like right now, QR codes are really hot.
Yeah.
Well, 10, 12 years ago when we started using them with our new full-length photo, people didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
It wasn't important back then. But now, since our business has primarily shifted and has gone mostly digital or virtual, there's a need for all of those new things, right?
Yes.
Whether it's a QR code or using Matterport or video or TikTok or any social media platform out there, it's important.
Yeah, I agree. And now Q codes are everywhere.
Yeah.
QR codes.
Yeah.
Restaurants, no more menus.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just scanning to see what you want to eat.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I know we must have used them so many times primarily over the last 60 days for sure.
Yeah, it's
QR
a
codes.
constant. Even I have it's called a smart card.
Okay.
You just tap it someone's phone.
Yeah.
And all your information gets sent to them.
Oh, cool.
Your Instagram, your phone number, picture of you. So if someone you're trying to quickly exchange info, it's pretty cool.
The only thing that worries me about all this technology too, and this is why this younger generation, I hope that they're using technology smartly, is cybersecurity is on the rise. And,
For sure,
we've had Sailfish, Rick Hawes, one of the co-founders and presidents, speak at many of our Buzz conferences. And we have to really start paying attention to cybersecurity because not only do we have to protect our own information and our privacy, but we also have to protect that of our clients as well and our strategic partners.
Definitely. That's super important. I think it's good that you even have those people to come on. What was his name?
Sailfish and Rick Hawes. Yeah, you should have them as one of your guests on your show for sure.
Noted. Okay, so let's get into the buzz. So you have, over your career, especially when you said you were 3 Max, you were traveling, you were speaking on stage. You have what's called a 90-day challenge.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about the 90-day challenge. I didn't know this about you until super recently.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
The 90-day challenge was something that I created when I was doing coaching and consulting. I did that for 10 years. And it was a challenge that I put together to help newer agents or agents that were struggling with lead generation or creating any kind of opportunity for themselves with buyers and sellers or investors. And so the 90-day challenge basically took the realtor and put him on a journey for 90 days. And he had to, or she had to, abide by a strict daily process. Every day there was, hourly goals that they had to achieve. And the idea was to do simple things every day, the same thing. Now, agents thought it was quite boring, but if you do things with consistency, people are going to recognize and remember you.
Yeah.
So if it's for real estate, they're going to remember Matt Campoli. Maybe not on the first day, but maybe by the 80th day, they're going to remember who you were, because the foundation was set 80 days ago.
Yeah.
But it never really stopped at 90 days. You really do have to continue with the process of those great, what word do I want to use? Those great processes, like it's like, let's say cold calling.
Yeah.
So the first hour of your day, it starts with cold calling.
Yep.
If you're going to do that on day 1, and then on day 16, I say, Matt, how was your cold calling? You're going to say, oh, I didn't do any cold calling today because it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, when was the last day you cold called? Well, I started it on day 1 and I didn't get any reply on day 1.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, you have to do things with consistency. So the 90-day challenge was a program that we took all over the world, and it proved to be successful for many agents.
Awesome. I think you built just the habit in them.
Yeah.
Like that, over those 90 days, you get the habit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I had to do too.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Matt.
Sure.
How do you start your day?
I pet my cat.
Okay. It's a good habit.
Yeah. So he
Because I
likes.
pet my dog.
Okay, perfect. So he likes it.
Yeah.
So my morning routine is crucial. I wake up. I have a journal. So I do it's called the 5-minute journal.
Okay,
Shout out
good.
to them. It's amazing.
love
Just
it.
get my mindset right.
Yeah.
Then I meditate.
Yeah.
Then I have another journal. Then I go to the gym.
And then
Eat
you go to
and
the gym. Okay,
So my
good.
morning is like, people know they can't touch me in the morning. Like my phone's
Right.
on Do Not Disturb. I left it for me.
Yeah.
And then my day starts after my workout. Then I'm full force into the evening. But if I don't do that in the morning,
Right.
I'm thrown off.
And that's really important. So
Yeah.
the 90-day challenge starts with that.
Cool.
Whether it's gym, because my husband, since I've known him and since I've been married to him for 30 years, he will not do anything unless his gym and his reading and all those important things are done first.
It's amazing.
So that has been something that and for me, it's been a little bit more difficult because I've got my fingers in so many different things.
Yeah.
But I try to get my walk in there, every single day. But habits, good habits breed better opportunities. If
For
you
sure.
have really bad habits, business is not going to work. Okay.
1000%.
And the 90-day challenge really focuses on those really good habits.
Yeah.
Consistency mindset it's what breeds better opportunities for anyone, whether it's real estate or fashion or retail or restaurant. Those are the good habits that bring customers to you.
I think it's the most important thing ever, because it helps you align.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing those things day in, day out, and you're all over the map,
Yeah.
You don't feel aligned.
Yeah.
And then that just affects your business. Because I've had that, especially during COVID. I was like,
Right.
such a shock, like gyms are closed,
Yeah.
like so much stuff except my cat taken away from me.
Yeah. Right.
At least my cat was there.
Yeah, and if you look at the whole gym component, for example, so my husband had to
closer.
husband had to shift and adapt
Yeah.
as well, right? So instead of going to the gym every single day, he had to create better workout habits from home.
Yes.
And he did that.
Yeah, I had to adjust too. But thankfully, they're coming back.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so let's get into the Buzz.
The Buzz.
So what is the Buzz Conference?
So the Buzz Conference is a Canadian conference space for real estate and proptech. And it offers realtors across Canada an opportunity to learn, network, share, and engage with each other live
Yes.
at an actual conference venue. But because of COVID, we've had to shift and adapt to new ways of engaging people. So we decided on April the 30th in 2020 that we would host our very first digital conference. And we use the Zoom platform. I think, are you tired of Zoom right now? Because I am.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I am. Well, we'll try doing a conference for 15,500 people.
Kudos to you for that. Yeah.
It's been great, but we have noticed the numbers are coming down. It could be because it's summer.
Yeah.
But we've had some amazing speakers. We've had the support of major corporations like AREA, TREB, which is the largest real estate board in the world, CREA, which is the Canadian Real Estate Association, and just like really great companies like, Royal LePage and Remax and Realogy, like all the Realogy corporate brands have been a part, but also the boutique and independent brokerages have also been a part of our conference, like Revel Realty, who I just love Revel, and PSR Brokerage, and the agency, which we've had Maurizio Umansky from Beverly Hills on. So we've really gathered some real cool people who are so on point and on trend with making real estate great.
Yes.
There definitely is a need for and an appetite for knowledge in the most creative way possible. And I think the Buzz Conference offers that. I mean, we've had you on our show. And we've had, many men and women from all different backgrounds. We've tried to make it very diverse and very inclusive of all races, backgrounds, genders, and I think, and ages too. And I think that's what's made it truly special, because, I think over the past year, we've had so many messages through the news and through the media come up, and we've paid attention to those messages, and we've tried to incorporate all of those messages into the Buzz Conference voice.
Yeah, and it is special.
Thank you.
And kudos to you, and thank you for doing that, because it's super valuable to us.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that until I got on there, and how organized it is. So again, kudos to you.
Yeah.
My favorite part was the coffee talk. What do you call it, something in the beginning?
The networking coffee chat?
Yeah, the coffee chat.
Yeah, the coffee chat.
That was...
Yeah, 1 hour.
I've met so many different realtors from different parts in that, and now I feel like I'm such good friends with them just from that part alone.
Really?
And I was just on the one.
I'm going to have to let Richard Silver know, because he's kind
awesome.
of, isn't
he's
he
awesome.
great?
Yeah, he is great.
So Richard Silver is he's a pioneer in real estate. So I met Richard Silver
I'll get him on here.
Yeah, 10. Yes, you must.
Okay.
He'll probably have you on his show too.
Perfect.
10, 11 years ago, we used to go to New York and San Francisco to a real estate conference there, and he used to come back to Canada and literally share Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Those were the 3 social media platforms that exploded almost 12 years ago. And nobody knew what they were here or how to use them in real estate. And I just gravitated to him. I wanted to learn so much from him. And then he started a conference in Toronto, and I started the same conference in Mississauga. And now we've come together just to have some fun at the Buzz Conference.
Yeah, he's awesome. Shout out,
cool.
Richard.
Yeah, shout out to Richard Silver. Yeah.
So, and just that one takeaway for me was obviously the power of networking.
Yeah.
I know you're big on that, clearly. You have such a big reach. How important is networking in the industry for an agent?
I think networking, whether it's live or digital, I think you've got to do it. You've got to make that part of your 90-day challenge.
Okay.
If there are people that you see on social media that you want to connect with, or hey, I'd love to learn more about them and about that strategy they're using, or about that new listing, or hey, they must be new in the business, I'm going to reach out and just say hello. Those are the things that mean a lot to people. And the more you connect with people, the larger you grow your network. Now, do you have a database?
I do.
Okay, so every time you reach someone, one of the goals in the 90-day challenge is to add 5 to 10 people to your database every single day.
Yes.
Especially if you're brand new.
Yes.
And if you're not adding to your database, then 10, 12 years down the road, when you're really set in your business, if they're not in your database, you have nobody to communicate with.
Yeah.
Because you will be busier by then as well, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of networking is it's not a new concept, but you really have to be more personable with people. Again, people like to know that you care. They don't care what you say, but they care about how you make them feel.
Yes.
So if you're going to reach out, like even you just reaching out to us, wanting to know more, well, let's give Matt a chance and have this conversation with him.
And again, thank you.
My pleasure.
I feel special.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm all giddy. And I think it's also very important for our clients that we have this reach as an agent, because when it comes down to, a house pops up and it's a good friend, Joe, from Royal LePage, and I know him, and that's right away you have an advantage, right? Because you have that relationship already established, and that benefits the client as well. So I think it's all around just good for any agent to get out there, just meet and network with as many agents as possible.
Right, and you also never know if you'll be sitting across from that person at the offer table.
Yes.
You just never know where a lead is going to come from, where a referral is going to come from.
Referrals are big.
Especially now when, that things are opening up, we'll be able to see more people live. But, don't forget, there's over 140,000 realtors with CREA, which is the Canadian Real Estate Association. 89,000 of those realtors are in Ontario Real Estate Association. And then TREB has almost 60,000 of those realtors. So there's 60,000 realtors just in the Toronto Real Estate Board.
Crazy.
And you're a member of TREB.
Yes, I am.
I'm not a member of TREB, but my husband is a member of TREB.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the OMDREB board, which is in Oakville. And there's about 2,000 members there. But it's really important that and again, part of the 90-day challenge is learning who those top 1% realtors are.
Yes.
Because if your goal is to be a successful real estate agent, you have to emulate who the most successful agents are. What are they doing? How do they communicate? Where are they marketing? How are they marketing? I think it's really important. I think it's important that we explore all those different opportunities.
Yep, I agree 1,000%. I think it's super important to model and not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously you've grown the Buzz conference to something amazing.
Yes, thank you.
What's next for the Buzz?
What's next for the Buzz? We're not really sure. I was on the phone with one of the venues who called me this week. I did speak with Bisha, and the women's conference is going to take place. They're not sure of the date, but now that things are opening up, we'll see. We're hoping for a live conference. If not October, November, then we have booked for January, because they have said that January is open for live. Not 100% sure this year, because there will be rules and regulations, right? I.e. vaccinations, masks, present your card.
Yeah.
Those are all things liability-wise we need to consider before creating something as powerful as what we're going to deliver, because
Definitely.
We're ready to deliver an amazing conference experience.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, we want you on.
I'm excited.
I know.
We'll do this.
Yes, exactly.
I think, something to look out for, guys, is the Buzz in person.
Yes.
And if you end up doing another virtual one, definitely take advantage of that, especially if you're an agent, but so much value.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
So my next topic I want to talk about is, I think everyone's always wondering or have their head in this kind of topic, is the future of the real estate industry. And you seeing so much and being a part of so much, and with all these different brands and companies and people in the business, what do you think, what does the future of the real estate industry look like to Virginia?
Yeah, well, again, getting back to 27 years ago, I started my career with Royal LePage. I'm back at Royal LePage, but in between I was with RE/MAX. So I've had the privilege to work with two of the largest, real estate companies in the world. Royal LePage being Canadian, and RE/MAX being, they've got their American and their European offices as well. And you learn so much by being a part of bigger companies. But I do see now, especially over the last 5 years, the independent boutique and smaller offices that are opening up, individual offices opening up. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of that. I have seen a lot take place. Then you've got EXP, which has opened as well, and you see a lot of people shifting over to a virtual office.
Super interesting.
But you can also have that virtual office experience working with bigger brands as well. I see technology still playing a very big component, but I think because we have spent so much time indoors, I see us gravitating to more personal experiences. I think this past year has proved just how valuable the real estate agent is. Even though we've been doing things online and virtually and digitally, I think the consumer wants to see us again. And they're asking, when they're asking, for a meeting.
For sure.
And we still have to do it on Skype, on Zoom, on Facebook Messenger, on Facebook video, Instagram video. But they do want to see us back in their homes.
Yeah.
I think we're missing that personal experience.
You can't beat it or replicate it.
I don't think technology will ever take over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying, maybe it's time that we leave our office and explore a digital real estate office. I don't think that's the answer. I really don't. I think having an office, I miss going into the office.
Yes.
My husband still goes every single day.
I go too.
Yeah, and although there's not a lot of people there, it's where you feel you're still connected to the industry, right?
Yes.
And I think that's really important.
And with all these advancements in technology, do you think the job as a realtor will ever be at risk?
No,
Okay.
I don't ever see that. I think we're going to start seeing more and more platforms, but I think Realtor.ca and any MLS provider, companies like TREB, associations like TREB, I think those are our associations and boards that we still need to be connected to.
Yeah.
There's no way we can do business without them. A big chunk of the consumers still sourcing properties on Realtor.ca, and I think that we have to learn to really use our profiles and our networks within to create a better foundation for us. For example, is your profile 100% on TREB? Is it 100% on AREA? Is it 100%
With my
on
picture and
CREA?
everything?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
picture, your bio,
Yeah. My
all
broker
your
made me do that.
technology. Well, brokers, that's who's failing us today.
Yes.
Not technology, not people. If our brokers are not telling us, get on your portals and create better portals.
Yeah.
For the consumer is never going to know what our expertise is or where
Very
we
true.
work or where we're located. We're doing it on social media, but we're not doing it within our real estate boards or our associations, and we really do have to take advantage of that. If we're not, then we're losing a big opportunity with consumers. Because consumers, this is still where they're beginning their search.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you're incomplete,
Yeah, incomplete. You're an incomplete agent.
there you go.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree fully. So should some either new agents or seasoned agents, what should they be focusing on moving forward to stay relevant and keep their business expanding?
I think agents, first of all, there's a lot of new agents that have been registered to take their course, over 50,000.
I didn't know we were 89 now in
Ontario.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
I think
that.
we're almost at 89.
So it's
That's the
growing
last I heard.
exponentially.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but that's the last number I heard.
I haven't checked recently, but that's still a lot since I checked. So
Yeah, I think agents, once they get in the business, they have this perception that, I need to go buy myself a fancy car. I need to, hook up with the best luxury agency.
Yeah.
That's really not what it's about. It's really about being, you have to be who you are.
Yeah.
You have to be true to yourself. And we see things on social media that sometimes we want to be, and we're not that person. We're not that agent. We're not that celebrity. There are a lot of people that do that well, but there's others who need to find a different resource or a different platform where they can communicate with potential clients. So I think they have to establish their brand, number one, establish their community where they want to farm. And it doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar home. It can be a $300,000, $400,000 townhouse, right?
Yes.
Which I don't think they even exist anymore.
They don't.
Oh my
Unfortunately.
goodness. So we have to really change that. But creating that foundation within your community, what's your expertise? What's the message you want to deliver to that area or that neighborhood? How do you want the consumer to see you or perceive you? As an expert in real estate or as a social media influencer? right?
Yes.
Now this younger generation love social media influencers. They love it. I follow so many, and they get great engagement and rapport, which eventually lead to potential clients, buyers or sellers, or investors. But unless we really look at how we want to how we want the consumer to perceive us in the industry, that's where we start.
Yes.
And then we have to go into a 90-day challenge.
Okay.
I think that's really important. I think I have to dig that up and reinvent it.
I
What do you
think I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
I'm ready.
I think I'm gonna do it. I really do. Yeah.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it out.
Okay.
So as we near the end here, you mentioned earlier, before we even chatted here, that people were really negative towards your vision of the buzz, or told you couldn't do it.
You know, it's hard being a woman. It's hard being anyone in real estate, really.
Yeah.
You know, the competition is so fierce. There's so many amazing people. And we all just want to do a really great job for everyone, whether it's our clients or our colleagues or the industry in general. And I remember when we were first starting and we announced a conference about 6 years ago, and we were getting a lot of hate mail and a lot of negativity. So we just kind of scrapped the big conference and we just kind of stuck with, smaller conferences. I believe in timing.
Yep.
And I believe that we are given everything that we have the courage to ask for and the power to ask for. So we decided that we would try it during COVID, but people want live now.
Yep.
People have seen so much digital buzz conferences that they now want to experience it live. So I think we've built the momentum for it.
You definitely have.
And I feel for agents who don't have the courage to ask for a sale or to door knock or to cold call. I look at the Buzz conference and, 6 years ago, we were told it wasn't possible. Now, if I would have started it 6 years ago and I didn't listen to the naysayers, I think the Buzz would be even bigger than what it is today, right? But then I also think this time that we've had over 450 days to create relationships with each other using the digital space. This is where we met.
Yes,
we met online, right?
Yeah.
And so I think timing is really important, and I think people is the magic. People are the magic.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, people are the magic. People make things happen. You made this interview happen,
and so did you by coming.
Yeah, so thank you.
And I don't think you realize the impact you probably even have on majority yet, because the world hasn't opened yet.
No, right.
So once you get out there, and people start to see you, and I feel like you're going to be blown away by the actual impact without even knowing that you've had.
I really wish, I just see what what you and this younger generation are doing, I think is truly fascinating. Like I said, it took us 20 years to build the brand. And it was very costly at the same time. Like, just to do our whole brand design years ago was about $50,000. And I see you guys doing it just by opening up an Instagram page and starting a podcast and communicating value to the consumer being the real estate agent.
Yeah.
I think that brings more value to you because you're speaking to the industry and you're speaking with the industry. There was no such thing 25, 30 years ago. Back then we got our real estate license. We took our marketing dollars and we went and we bought flyers and put them in the mail. That's what we did back then. Now there are more creative ways to do that, and we have to follow and respect and appreciate this younger generation that is, helping us. Like, you guys have helped the Buzz Conference bring these important discussions to the virtual stage, and I think you guys are the ones that have helped the agents during the last 450 days. The Buzz Conference has just created the platform to deliver those messages and those ideas that have been very powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this episode is going to bring a lot of value to people too.
I think so too.
And this brings us to a close here.
Thank
I want
you.
to say thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
It's been an amazing chat. I think viewers are going to love it.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for tuning in. This is the Price to Sell podcast. Matthew Campoli. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.